Okay, moving on to the NBA. Is Giannis the missing piece in Rip City? That's next on local radio. Or is Drew Timme the missing piece in Rip City? That's next on radio. Those are pretty good teases. Like, if you're listening to the Portland radio, you're tuning the volume up a little bit, being like, hey, is Drew Timme the missing piece? Maybe. But both of those teases are hilarious and satirical for the record, in case that wasn't obvious. Now, I was listening to some Portland Sports Talk Radio the other day, and I heard, like, dude, Blazers got to go get Giannis, man. This is the trade package. This is what it's going to take, and why not take a swing? What else are we going to do? And I was just going, I can't imagine being like I'm obviously very locked into the Portland sports scene. I can't imagine, like, beaming in from, like, who's the comparable city to Portland in the NBA market and franchise valuation? Like, Orlando or Atlanta, like, I mean, bigger cities, but, like, like, same relevance. Like, I mean, Atlanta's probably more relevant than Portland, given the Trae Young Knicks series over the last 5 years. But you know what I mean? Like, imagine if you were in Atlanta and for some reason you beamed into Portland radio and they were like, dude, we got to go get Giannis. We got to go get Giannis. I would be like, what? Same thing with like, if I beamed into Atlanta sports talk and the guys are like, dude, you know what? I think we got to get Giannis. I think we do it. So there's just, like, obviously he's one of the 3 best players in the world, in the opinion of some, the best player in the world. He's certainly a proven guy who can be the best player on a championship team. He's great. He'll be a Hall of Famer, still in his prime, 30 or 31. But if you're Portland, man, like, my take on that would be, like, if someone asked me, like, do you think the Blazers should pursue Giannis? Like, not really. And I don't mean for this to be, like, a hot take like, at all. Like, I really genuinely don't. Like, I'm just talking, just having a conversation. Everyone take a deep breath. This is just a conversation. This isn't a take that you need to put on my tombstone or that everyone should be thinking deeply about. Like, it's just a conversation here. I wouldn't go after Giannis if I was Portland, because, I mean, dude, you have to think about, like, when you're constructing your roster, like, you have to think about it in terms of, like, championship windows, right? Most of Portland's team, outside of Jeremy Grant and Drew Holiday and Dame, who's obviously not playing this year, they're under 25. Like, Shaden, Scoot, 21, 22, Denny Avdia, 23-ish. Like, they're all very young players. Donovan Clingan, 21-ish, 22. Like, they're all very, very... Tumani Kamara, under 25. All these guys are really young players. And first of all, Giannis, never in a million years would he put with his trade request... And all these guys usually end up going where they want to go. Never in a million years would Giannis put, like, trade me to the Portland Trailblazers, especially as constructed. Maybe 2012 to 2020, where Dame was really cooking in the three-point ball. Not every team had caught up to the three-point revolution, but Dame and CJ were certainly upper echelon three-point shooters and threats. And you add Seth Curry to the mix, and you make the conference finals in 19. Like, I mean, Dame Lillard was an absolute problem from 2012 to 2020. The guy was downright incredible. So like that era, Portland, like, absolutely swing for the fences and add Giannis, like, of course. But now as you're rebuilding your roster and you're trying to construct it for a championship window at some point in time, that's why the Jeremy Grant thing, and I get it, they signed him to try to entice Dame to stay and make Dame happy a couple of years ago. But his space, 5 years, $160 million, whatever it was, as a 30-year-old, like, he just makes no sense with the team from a timeline standpoint right now. He's just kind of out there shooting around, like, the most low-stress $30 million job in the history of the world, basically. It's like, hey, just go out there and try to get 20 for us. We're not really trying to win. We kind of are, but, like, we don't have any real expectations of winning even a playoff game. Like, just go out there, Jeremy. Like, that is sick. That is a sick $30 million a year job. I love what Drew Holiday, like love what Drew Holiday's added to the team this year in terms of, I know he's been in and out of the lineup, but when he's in terms of just defense, leadership, I think that's one thing we all really love about Portland this year is they're actually finally playing defense. As fun as the Lillard era was, and it was extremely, extremely fun, you were never going to mistake Portland as a good defensive team under Terry Stotts and Dame Lillard, and again, it worked. They got to the conference finals. They played very well. They won some playoff series. Like that's the route they had to go, but after a while, especially kind of at the end, it was really annoying watching them just not play any defense at all. And now it's a team that tries really hard on defense and has great defensive players like Toumani Camara with great length and Drew Holiday and a big man in Donovan Clingan who's a really, really, really solid young big man. And, you know, obviously Denny Avdia is the story of the team. Like the splits with and without Denny are wild and dramatic. Like he is an all-star player. He is a great player. How they have him on contract for like $13 million a year for the next 2 years is mind-blowing. He's going to get a lot of money in like 2 years from now. He is a great player. So, but my point is, obviously, Giannis wouldn't want to come to Portland. Like, if Shams dropped something on the ESPN tracker that was like breaking news, Giannis Antetokounmpo lists his preferred trade destination as Portland, I would fall out of my chair. I would fall out of my chair as if my head was sewn to the carpet. Like, the only time I think I've ever fallen out of my chair watching anything related to the Blazers, probably two things. Number one, seeing that we got the number 1 overall draft pick and taking Greg Oden. Shout out to 07. Oden 08 worth the wait, though. Oden 08 worth the wait. And then probably the Dame shot against Paul George to knock OKC out, send him packing in Portland. Like, those are the two times I've pretty much ever fallen out of my chair. Obviously, I remember the Lakers-Blazers series very early in my life, 20-something years ago, as well. I remember crying that night. I think that was the last time I cried about a sporting event. That or maybe when Allen Iverson lost in the finals. But so the point is, like, dude, if you're Portland, I mean, like, I get people being like, what are you going to do? Just, like, not do anything? Dude, not doing anything is kind of the point. Like, do you think the Clippers are happy that they did something about bringing Paul George in? Of course not. Like, what a total train wreck and disaster. He's already off the team, and they gave up SGA and 1 million first-round picks, arguably the worst trade in NBA history, as we all know. Like, so if you're Portland, you don't want to give up, and I don't know what the trade packages are. You can look up a Zach Lowe article for that if you really want to. I'm sure he's got stuff about how the Heat and the Knicks and the T-Wolves and the Warriors could do it. Seems like those are the big 4 teams that everyone's talking about, because those are all contenders, although the Heat really aren't. But those are potential contenders that he would be happy with, and. So, you know, he's obviously not coming to Portland, but, like, if you're Joe Cronin, like, why would you even try? Not just because Giannis doesn't want to come to Portland. That's certainly a massive reason. Like, don't bring in a superstar who doesn't want to be there. That's a quick way to losing a lot of assets and being unhappy, and everyone loses. So definitely don't do it for that reason. But also from, like, a pure basketball reason, when you're talking about constructing your team long term, like, you want to build with your young core, man. You don't want to force Giannis, who has 3 more years of prime, maybe, when you're not really a championship team. Like, if Giannis was on Portland right now, are they a championship contender? I mean, they'd be a really annoying team to play. They'd be a really tough out, especially if Denny Avdia plays at this level and Giannis plays at his amazing level, and Drew Holiday, you know, keeps adding kind of the veteran winning style of basketball that he does. But I don't know if it's a title contender. Like, anyways, I wouldn't waste. And my point is to get Giannis, you have to think about what you're gonna have to give up to get him. So you would have to give up just to like match money. You would have to give up, and they would probably want Denny Avdia and Jeremy Grant and 5 first-round draft picks and maybe Scoot Henderson. Like, you're not gonna do that, dude. Like, you're just not gonna do that. So, you know, again, I wouldn't mortgage my future for Giannis right now if I was the Blazers. Now, if you're the Warriors and you want to give Steph one final shot at a ring, if you are the T-Wolves and you're like, holy crap, Ant Edwards. Let's get him some help around him. If you're the Knicks and you can find a way to bring him in, Giannis playing at the Garden would just be freaking electric, man. With him and Brunson, and he might want to stay in the East anyway. It's obviously a bit easier to win over there at the moment. So, I don't know. If I'm Portland, that's my point. It's like, obviously I would love Giannis. I would love Giannis. Like, I would absolutely love Giannis. He's one of the very best players in the world. Of course, he's capable of turning most teams into a title contending team. But it doesn't match what Portland wants to do long term at all, with almost all of their great players being 25 and under, and then again Jeremy and Drew kind of floating at weird times in their careers in terms of not really matching the timeline with what the Blazers currently have right now. I've been very pleasantly surprised with the Blazers this year. Denny Avdia has been unbelievable. Tiago Splitter, I think you probably make him the full-time head coach if they make the playoffs. I mean, they're over 500 or right around it and have been for quite some time. So if they keep playing like high-quality competitive basketball with Denny Avdia out there, there's no reason why, I guess you shouldn't give Splitter a strong consideration. But, I wouldn't trade. The overall point is I wouldn't trade for Giannis, not because I don't respect Giannis, not because I don't think he's one of the very best players in the world. He certainly is. It's just that it doesn't really match up with the championship window. Like, I think if you're Portland, your best move going forward is you continue to obviously this is an amazing draft. It's almost a bummer that this draft is unbelievable. It's almost a bummer that you're good again. You kind of want to be tanking. Like, I heard Windhorse say on one of the shows that we're gonna see some historic tanking down the stretch. We probably will, because there's not just one good player. There's dude, I've been watching a little bit of college basketball lately. There are 7 insanely good freshmen. The kid from Illinois, Wagler, who's getting no love. I saw him 18th or so in a lot of mocks. Dude, he just dropped 46 at Purdue the other day. Kid's unbelievable. He's averaging 20-something a game on high 40s from three. The kid is an unbelievable scorer. And then obviously you have your notable guys like Debonsa from BYU and the UNC kid and the Kansas kid. You got a lot of notable guys out there right now. So anyways, it's gonna be a great draft. Gonna be a really, really, really good rookie class. Flag Knipple was unbelievable. I didn't watch it live. I watched a lot of the highlights, but that looked incredible. But anyways, man, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on Portland. Should the Blazers pursue Giannis is such a funny question. That question, holy Portland sports radio, man. Holy Portland sports radio. Should Giannis go to Portland, or should the Blazers pursue Giannis? Said no one ever outside of Oregon. That is an all-time, that's getting people to turn the volume up. That's getting people on the edge of their seat. That is A+ sports radio right there. Should the Blazers pursue Giannis, or should Giannis come to Portland? And my answer would be no. And again, it's has nothing to do with the quality of Giannis, more so about how I want to see Portland build moving forward.